So I recently got spam from both ChristianMangle.com and SlutFinder.com. They clearly know what I'm looking for in a woman. Very religious slut. I think she just goes down on a lot of guys, but she feels really guilty about it afterwards. Calls it praying, I don't know. And my friend was on, we were chatting on Facebook, and she said, well, no, I want you to meet a nice girl, because we used to be best friends in college or whatever, and she's like married and happy now, and she's like, you should go to church and meet a nice girl. Like, because the way you're doing it now, going to bars, you just don't get, and it's like, yeah, but I think I see more of what they're really like at a bar. How do I know they're not just getting up early and making themselves look all pretty to get, so they can look more pious in front of all the other bitches, Going to heaven. One date at a time. I don't know, when girls do this thing, they've got this thing now, they call it a wish board, I guess, and they put things up, like little pictures and quotes and things to like manifest their dreams of what they want out of life and relation. I think when guys do that, we just call them serial killers. Saves a lot of time. Then I had another guy, he said, oh, you should try Plenty of Fish, Plenty of Fish. I said, oh, Plenty of Fish, so how would that go? I'm fishing. Not the worst sport. Not the one I usually do. So then what else happened? Heartbreak, right? I don't know. I guess not all heartbreak. I mean, where do old people go for their honeymoons? Viagra Falls. I saw this gal one time. I was doing a comedy show, and I said, "Hey, you're kind of cute. You doing anything?" She said, "Not really." I said, "Would you like to come to a comedy thing?" And she goes, "Maybe." I said, "Well, do you have a date?" And she goes, "Actually, I do." And I said, "Is it a blind date?" And she goes, "Well, actually, it is." And I said, "Oh, well, what's your name?" And she says, "Well, I'm not going to tell you." And I said, "Well, how do you know I'm not the guy you're supposed to be meeting for your date?" So she got all pissed off and walks away and started texting on her little fucking phone. I'm like, well, I don't know why I invited you to a comedy show. You obviously have no sense of humor. She didn't like that very much. So this gal says, well, what do you do? So you're an artist? And I said, well, I guess, and she goes, oh, I dated a tortured artist and it was bad. And I said, well, I never said I was tortured. And she said, well, aren't all artists tortured? What? And I said, well, I'm trying to give her a little leeway because she's cute, but I'm like, well, no. I mean, what about that happy trees guy? He wasn't tortured. All he did was paint little happy trees. Like, look at the little squirrels. Look at the little happy tree. I don't know, maybe he was tortured as a child. Maybe that explains the fro and the fucking squirrels. I don't know. Hiding in the woods for some reason. I have no idea. I'm not sure where I am on time, so I guess I'll wrap it up. Just remember, folks, the successful marriages are the ones that end in death. All right.